What's going on, guys? So let's see if you can figure out what this thing might be and why I'm hooked up to it. So yeah, I am in a hospital bed. So a lot of you folks know that I went up to Detroit for the Detroit Auto Show. Started experiencing some weird sensations while I was walking through the airport and also at the event in the convention center and outside. It never went away. It was definitely an experience that made me feel different and made me feel like something was wrong. And to kind of give you an idea of what it was, when I flew out of Texas and I landed in Houston, I was walking through the Houston airport, which is a pretty sizable airport. So as I would start walking, my hands would just start hurting, and they felt like they were dipped in ice water. And they would just start hurting more and more and more, and then I would start feeling it in the center of my chest. So I would take a little break, and 20 to 30 seconds later, it would go away, and I would feel completely normal. So this happened every time I would start walking. And, you know, when you travel through airports, you realize very quickly airports require a lot of walking. And, you know, I eventually made it to Detroit and felt the same way there, felt the same way when I made it to the hotel in the convention center. And I knew something was wrong. I had my associate Mark with me who was there, and he was definitely keeping an eye on me just in the event something got worse, but definitely did not feel right. I felt a lot of pain, and it was just something that I couldn't ignore. So I decided to call my wife, and, you know, I told her what was going on. I told her what I was feeling, and I got her next to me, so you want to say hi?
Hey everyone, how are you?
So she's been at my bedside pretty much every day, every night with me, and helping kind of manage communications, talking to family and talking to staff. Well, when I returned Friday evening, I kind of felt the same way, took some baby aspirin, decided to go to bed to see how I felt the next day. Well, Saturday, my wife and I were just kind of relaxing a little bit, sitting on the couch. We decided we would go for a little walk outside to see how I felt. You know, coming back in, I could barely hold myself up. I was just really weak, and I was feeling really out of it. And she decided that we should probably go to the hospital. So we went down to the hospital. They saw us at the emergency room, drew my blood, ran all sorts of tests. Everything looked like it was really good. All my vital signs were excellent. I'm actually in pretty good shape, you know, physically. I do a lot of walking, a lot of moving around. I'm not one of those people that just sits down and does nothing. I'm not overweight. I don't have any of those problems. But I do have a family history of high cholesterol, and that potentially could have been, you know, some type of a precursor for a future problem. Well, we went for the walk. We get back home again. I feel spent, I feel winded, and my hands hurt, my chest hurts, and we decided to check in. They do all the blood tests, like I said. Everything came back really good. One indicator that was slightly elevated, and that was my troponin levels. And your troponin level is an indication of heart damage. So it can either mean that you've had a heart attack, you're going to have a heart attack, or you have heart damage from some type of a cardiac event. So anytime there's elevation in your troponin levels, it means that something has happened to your heart. So yeah, the troponin level had spiked, and they decided just to keep me overnight for observation. So they admitted me, put me in a room, and they ran another blood test on me the following morning. And by the way, by this time, about 9 hours has passed, and the next day is pretty much here now. But yeah, they ran another blood test on me and saw that my troponin levels had spiked again. So they decided that they wanted to do a cath through my wrist to see what they could find out in my arteries, what was going on. And once they got in there, they found out that I had one of my major arteries that was 100% blocked. I had a secondary artery that was 97% blocked. I think it was actually 100%, but they were able to get into it and put a stent. And then another one of my arteries that was 72% blocked. So they did what they could. The major artery that was 100% blocked, they said it actually bypassed itself already. And they said that's kind of one of the saving graces if you're somewhat active. Even if you have that type of issue, your body and your heart can sometimes create its own pathways to go around, or kind of a redundant pathway to avoid an artery that's blocked. So that was kind of the saving grace of all of this. Otherwise, I would have been in a much worse situation. But yeah, they were able to stent one of them, and the other one they said is probably going to be fine. One thing to note, though, was during the operation when they were putting the stent in, at one point my heart rate actually dropped down to like 25, which means I almost coded, which, you know, it would have been a whole different type of story if that had happened. But yeah, they were able to pump some medicine into me and get everything going again, and I made it through all of that. So, but again, I'm going to have to make a lot of changes to my lifestyle. Not necessarily too many dietary changes. It's going to be more medication now. They're going to have to put me on blood thinners and things like that just to keep me going and make sure that blood is flowing smoothly into my heart, and that my body accepts the stent that was put in, and that there's no chance that there's clotting or anything that can form. But yeah, that is that's my story over the last several days. I've been in the hospital now going on, this is day 4. So I've been here for a while, and hopefully they'll release me today. If not, then I'll be here for another night. But yeah, the staff here has been absolutely amazing. You know, sometimes you hear of horror stories at hospitals. You hear that, you know, patient care isn't what it used to be, all of this stuff. It has been just, I couldn't imagine going to any other hospital and getting a better experience than the experience that I've had here. So that is, there's a lot to be said for that. My comfort level, everything has been absolutely amazing. If anything, you know, the point of all of this is to just let you guys know, if you feel anything weird, if you feel weird sensations, if you don't feel like you can do things the way you used to do them before, and you just know something's off, you should go to the hospital, get it checked out, because it's absolutely imperative that you catch problems like these before they turn into something worse. And the cardiologist pretty much said I was a ticking time bomb, that you know, it was very likely that I could have ended up in a hospital in Detroit if I had just pushed myself any harder than I did. But I was fortunate enough to make it back home and make it to the hospital under the care of my wonderful wife. And I've had so much support, so much love from so many people and family members and friends that, you know, the situation could have been a lot worse. But with all the love, compassion, and support from the people that have surrounded me, I was able to kind of make it through. So again, just waiting for the cardiologist to come in and give me the all clear to go home, tell me what kind of cocktail soup I'm going to have to take from now on. And of course, I'm going to have to probably reduce the amount of exertion I put towards some of the things that I do. But hopefully I'll be back at it real soon. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you all a quick update. You all are my YouTube family, and I figured that this was important enough that you all would want to know. And I hope that all of you really take care of yourselves. Watch what you eat, you know, stay active, do what you can do to keep yourselves healthy, you know, especially if you have families. You know, that you don't want to do something to yourself that impacts your family. If you can make a change and you can live a better lifestyle and you can do things that are better for you. This is a bit of a wake-up call for me. It's been a wake-up call for a lot of people that have been around here talking to me and spending time, just to think that these are the types of things that can happen to you, and you can really have a life-changing event in an instant if you're just not careful and you don't watch the signs. Anyways, everyone take care of yourselves, please. Take care of your families. Watch each other's backs. Kind of see if things are a little bit different out of the ordinary with those around you, those you love and care about, and get to a doctor if you feel you need to. That's one of those things I think is really important. Everyone that's pretty much, you know, been part of this has said, you're in the right place. That's where you need to be when you feel like that. Anyways, guys, we'll talk to you again very soon.